Hi everyone, Angelina, Sparkling Deva, back with another pick a card reading. And the pick a card reading is going to be about your new year, your 2022. And I just felt like showing you a bit of my Christmas tree. Yeah, so before we start, and I'm going to show you the sets and the crystals now. Right, three choices, as I always do. I have a card of each set at the back, so you can tune into that if you prefer. If you wish to use a crystal, then there are three crystals. This is a chloride crystal. There is this green here. That's why I'm turning it around a little bit so you can see that. And so this is chloride quartz, and this is blue, electric blue apatite, and this is beautiful fluorite with these white feathers, and the bottom is more transparent in that sense. It also has beautiful rainbows. So these are the choices for this reading for your 2022. Your new year. So make your choice, go to the timestamp of your choice, and I'll see you there. Numbers 1. Your first card, the color therapy cards from Ina Segal. We have chocolate and we have white. And the chocolate says, nourish your body and soul. And so that's about give yourself what you need for this reading, right? That's what I'm feeling. What are your needs? And really, what are your needs in order to be truly fulfilled in life? Are you maybe doing things to distract you from what you feel is missing? That can be very subconscious. So it is, if that sort of rings true, it is good to think about that. And these things that you can do to distract yourself can, of course, addiction is the first thing that comes to mind, but it can also be indulging in food or even sports, sporting too much, which will tax your body too much. And but if that exhausts you, then you haven't got the energy anymore to think about what's not there, what's missing. So whatever it is, if that rings true, that you do stuff to distract yourself from what you actually really need to be happy and fulfilled. And I feel that this card is asking you to take time to find out what that is and how you can nourish yourself. Right? Because it's one thing to know what's missing, but then how can you give that to yourself? How can you do that? And the process of going through that, of doing that, will help you to become more pure, more enlightened, which is what this card is about. And because that's what it says, in Dutch, I'm sorry about that. Enlighten yourself. But I also feel pure. Well, white is a very pure color, of course, the color of purity. But I also somehow feel water. I don't know. This is really very important for you to do this in this coming year. And the process then will help you to become more enlightened, more pure, both physically, emotionally, and your body. I was also already said that physically, but also emotionally and your energy, everything, right? All your bodies, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional bodies, they will all become purer. And so it will also help to ban denser energies out of your life. And then denser energies can take any shape or form as well, right? Like the overeating, oversporting. Maybe you have an overtrained snack hand. But it can also be negative thinking, limiting beliefs, and so on and so forth. Those are all denser negative energies. So start giving yourself what your body and soul truly need. And I'm shuffling my papers here because I have done the reading before recording. I like to do that because then I can really get into it. It works best for me. And again, I feel drinking more water could be very helpful. I don't know why it keeps coming up for me. That sense for you, not for me, of course, but in me for you, that drinking more water can be helpful. So then all your cells in your body can begin to function properly. Most people don't drink enough water. We think we do, but just put a water bottle, take it with you, put it on the table, whatever, or a water jug, fill it with water, measure how much it is, and see how much you drank from that during the day. And oftentimes it's actually quite disappointing to see. So I don't know why, but it keeps coming up. Water, drinking more water. Right, next three cards, we have Homeland, Staff, and Air. And with Homeland, I feel that this is, again, asking you to take stock of what you need, but in a slightly different way. This card is about your roots, where you come from, and this can even go back to past lives, right? And maybe if that is the case with the past lives, it sometimes happens that you feel drawn to certain places, and then give that to yourself, and you do not necessarily have to travel there to make a connection to a place. At the moment it's very difficult to travel as it is, and maybe you don't have the money or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can, if you read about that place and maybe watch a documentary about it, look at photos of that place, you can already start to make a connection. And you can even work through loose ends, unfinished business that way, because you can get really moved by if you really have this thing from a past life with a place. So that's a way to do that. And while you do that, feel that place, really feel it, the energy, and also notice what that does to you emotionally and in your body. And apart from that part of the message from Homeland, it can also touch upon the message from the chocolate card that we had. Do you maybe have specific patterns from your roots, your family, your upbringing in life? There usually are things for every one of us that we do not like, right, in the past, in our family situation. And well, when as adults we can change these things, so maybe you did change these, but I'm thinking more of the things from your family, from your roots, your upbringing that were actually good, but that you discarded or let slip nonetheless. And maybe these are things that you wish to bring back into your life in order to feel more nourished and happy. And it can be stuff from at home, from your family. Maybe a certain type of cooking or a routine or not having a routine, whatever was in your family. But it can also be from school. The way things went at school. It can, or, so just think about that. And because when you look back where you come from, you get a better sense of who you really are. So it's very important if you want to build a firm foundation for where you want to go next in life. If you don't know where you come from, if you don't have that clear, if you don't have clear what's maybe still stuck in your craw or what you're missing from your past that you're not giving to yourself, then you don't have a very solid foundation, right? So I do encourage you to go through that process and look back at things. And if memories come up, whether good or bad, that's okay. just allow them to surface. They surface for a reason, and embrace them. And often we do not wish to embrace things that were not so pleasant, right? But it becomes softer if you do, easier to digest when you allow them to be there and to embrace them. It really helps, even though it might feel counterintuitive. But anyhow, where you come from, knowing that helps you to get clear who you really are and what makes you tick. That as well, right? And then we go to the staff. The message of the staff is that you have diverted from your path. You lost your way a bit. And if that rings true, then it is time now in 2021 to get back on track. And I feel certainly at the beginning of the new year that is going to be very much the case and important. And if you do the processes of the cards that we have discussed so far, that will help you to get back on track, right? And because then you will, if you know and acknowledge where you come from, who you are, and what drives you, and you start doing the things that actually truly nourish you, you will already be getting back on track. Maybe the right path, the right track for the first time. Because sometimes we do this stuff, get off our true path, let go of our true north, is something we've done for our entire adult life, sometimes even earlier. So yeah, and then the air card, because for you, I had 3 cards here for everyone. Air says that it's a good time for something new, a new beginning. So that all comes together, right? Change, a new beginning. Air can also help get clarity. Just think of the wind that can blow leaves away, right? And then the leaves are the stuff that you do not want anymore, that doesn't serve you. Wind can help you get clarity, but also a storm, a proper serious storm, can be very cleansing and clearing of clutter. I once had so much clutter in my head, so much worries and troubles and all this oh my god stuff. And at the time I was in Wales, at the most western tip, looking at South Stack, looking at the over the Irish Sea to Ireland, which I couldn't see, of course, but there was a storm, very, very hard wind, and I stood there and I just allowed that wind, that storm, to kind of blow all this thinking and worrying and all that oh my god stuff out of my head. And I just stood there, I don't know how long, maybe 15 minutes, and it was freezing cold. And I was with a group and they were really annoyed that I was taking my time standing there, and I just I didn't give a rip, it was so helpful. Wind can be very clearing. So I don't know why I'm telling you that. Maybe it's helpful for you, especially in the Northern Hemisphere. We are still in the winter time and it can be very stormy at times as well. Maybe you can do a similar thing. Anyhow, on to your next cards. Right, 3 cards for you here. We have Hilarion, Ascended Master Hilarion, we have Krishna, and we have the Holy Spirit card. And Hilarion says for you this reading that if things feel overwhelming at times, or have been feeling, you have felt overwhelmed this year or for a long time, that it is okay to retreat, to take care of yourself and to heal and recharge. And even in that situation, you may feel like you want to help other people, and maybe sharing your healing or what you learned, but then if that's the case, if you have a tendency to do that, to reach out and help other people all the time, be mindful that you do not do this when you do not have a full cup, when or a full battery, if that's easier to understand, right? If you are recharging and your battery is drained, you really don't have anything to give. So think about that if you have the urge, the tendency to start giving to other people. If your battery is not full, you haven't got anything to give. There is no overflow, right? And if you then start giving and helping, you will only drain your battery further. So be mindful of that. And I suddenly feel like telling you that it's good to open up to receiving. So if someone offers you help, accept it. If someone pays you a compliment, take it in, thank them, and be grateful and smile. If someone smiles at you, maybe just in a shop or something, or in the street, just a mere stranger even, just smile back and receive that. It's good. That's also receiving, right? And with Krishna, also speaks of having been through a lot emotionally. So it comes up twice, both cards. And if that, if you've been through a lot, then know that you aren't alone. There's always divine help and love and guidance around you. And Krishna encourages you to act from your soul and to honor your soul. And that goes right back to the chocolate message again, right? Like, what do you need to nourish your soul, to nourish yourself, to feel good? And the Holy Spirit, you can expect miracles, but I do feel you have to go through that process. Leave behind thoughts and things and feelings and whatever that doesn't serve you any longer. And remember the love that you are. And that might be difficult at first, but it's a process, right? You will get there. Move into your heart and allow that love that you are to shine out into the world. And when you do that, then miracles can happen. But I actually feel this is very true. And I do feel this is really the right message for you as well. But this might come after all this and the chocolate card. After, you've gone through most of that process. Because if you still have to process a hell of a lot and digest a lot and think about a lot, then this is still difficult to do. So it could be that you feel like, this, I can't, I don't know how to. And then this is later on, right? So then likely later on in the year or when you've progressed with that process. Now we have one card to look at what your, kind of like weak spot is going to be in 2022. We have Maeve, determination. And Maeve says that you too easily give your power and decision making away to other people. Like taking a ride and choosing to not be the driver, just to let the other who is driving go wherever they wish to go. And that is not because of a lack of determination, because you do have that. It's more a choice you've made. And that could have happened for all kinds of reasons, right? But Maeve comes up now to awaken you, to step out of that. It's time to tap into your zest for life and to take over the steering wheel yourself again, to taking charge of your life is something that only you can do. Meaning that nothing much for you, for your life, for your well-being, might be happening because you're not in control. You're not taking the steering wheel. And with that taking charge comes taking responsibility for what happens, of course. And if that's a thing for you, because that can scare many people, right? Being responsible, taking responsibility. But then if that's the thing for you, then bear in mind that yes, maybe something doesn't turn out so great, but you then also have the control. You are the driver, so you can then also steer away from that and go to greener pastures. Plus, when you are behind the wheel, you can see things coming. So you could possibly even prevent things from happening when you are behind the steering wheel yourself. And in a way that also taps into finding out who you truly are, the previous cards that we've been through. Because are you more of a follower, someone afraid to take responsibility, to take action and make decisions? Are you really okay with being on the back seat of your own life? Does that truly nourish your soul and fulfill you? There's a lot of questions, but these questions might be good to ponder because it's quite the process for you. That's what comes up with the cards, right? And that's what I feel for 2022. And now we're going to go into your tarot cards, see what these have to say. Right, your tarot cards, we have cups only. So cups is all about emotions, feelings, love, the heart space, receiving, blah, 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 all that stuff. No, it's not blah, blah, I'm sorry about that. All that kind of thing, right? And so that's going to be very important. Right? And with the 7 of Cups, we have the 7, the 3, and the 9 of Cups. With the 7 of Cups, both Krishna and Hilarion spoke of turmoil and overwhelm, emotional overwhelm. The 7 of Cups represents many different choices and options, and this can also be perceived as overwhelm. And is that something that happens to you when there are a lot of options, a lot of things to choose from? Do you then get an overwhelm? And is that maybe why you have chosen to let other people take the lead in your life, which came up with me? It's kind of like your weak spot, right? And again, go back to your roots from the homeland card and what you need to be fulfilled and start giving that to yourself. And when you do, then all these options will become easier to deal with. Because when you know who you are and what you need, then you can easily cross off things here. Like, nope, that's not for me. That's not what I need. This doesn't fulfill me. Right? It becomes much easier to get rid of stuff that isn't a match for you and doesn't serve you in your needs. And with the 3 of Cups, going through that process that I talked about will make you feel happier and can help your social life and all your connections. So not just like with a partner or a romantic partner, but all connections. And because you will begin to feel activated and more of an equal. And I do not think you truly felt like not equal, like less than the ones that you let take the lead. I do not think you feel inferior, right? Less than them. But it doesn't help your sense of feeling good about life and yourself if you don't take control. So in that sense, you will become more of an equal playing partner in life for yourself and other people when you start becoming the driver in your life. If that makes sense. I hope I'm clear with that, right? Because these are all equal. No one is smaller. They're all standing right next to each other. They're happy, they're joyful, because the 3 of Pentacles is a very joyful card. It's about socializing. It's about having fun, being playful, and enjoying life really, but they're all equal. No one is behind the other or anything. So that's why I felt that. And it will really positively affect all connections when you actively begin to participate, because that's what it is about. When you sit on that back seat, you're not really actively participating. Not really. And that's why everything starts to shift, especially in connections, when you do get involved. And we see that again here with the the last card of your reading, the 9 of Cups, the wishes fulfilled card, which is saying that you can have it all. But more so for you, for this reading specifically, and I've never had that come up before, you see the moment here with all these cups, right? Like we have many cups there. And so many options, but they do not overwhelm her at all. And they don't make her feel like, oh, whatever, you decide which one we take, which one we drink from. I'll just tag along with whatever you'll decide. The backseat driver thing from that one card we had before. This feels far more involved and active. And she's looking at the cups. That's one thing. And with her hands up, the way she's standing, it makes me feel as if she's swiping through these cups, like you would on Tinder, to then to decide and feel, because this is a cups card, right? It's about feelings. It's about love and emotions and all these things, the yummy feelings in life. So she's swiping through them to decide and feel which one she wants to go for now. As maybe later on she's going to come back here, right? And look at the screen again and browse through them again, swipe, and then go for another one. She can choose any of them. And at another time she might go for another one. But this is active involvement from the heart. Because again, this is a cups card. So this woman, she is connected with her own feelings, what she needs, what she wants, what makes her feel good. And she's choosing herself. She's going for it. And this is what's going to be very important for you in 2022. So maybe you have been a bit in a funk for a while or a long time. It's also possible. But now it's time to start taking control. And all the stuff that we talked about, that's what is going to be important in your year. And yeah, it's like it's going to be the year where you reconnect with yourself. And by doing that, you will create a very solid foundation to bounce off of in life. And I somehow feel that for many of you, this will mean that a lot is going to change in the new year. And that doesn't have to be anything drastic, although it could be, of course. It doesn't have to be. Even if you just shift into being more involved and more connected with your needs, who you are, then only that will begin to create shifts and changes in your life. And especially the connections, that they will definitely become more deep and joyful. And if people or things fall away because you change, which is possible, right? With every change, it's always possible. And that might be maybe a little sad, depending on what it is, but that only means that they or it aren't a match for who you truly are. So in that sense, it's good, even though it sometimes is sad. But old doors closing means that new ones will open as well. So there will be new things or new people if something old or someone from the old is falling away. So that's what I have for you. I do hope it is helpful and resonates, right? Because we already are close to the new year. So you should be able to feel certain and recognize certain tendencies and things that came up. Anyhow, thank you for watching, and I'm wishing you a really wonderful new year. And I will see you again soon. Bye. Numbers 2, your reading. Your first 2 cards, I hope the colors will still be picked up beautifully, but yeah, light is a problem in the northern hemisphere at the moment. Anyhow, we have amber and orange, and both are about the energy of creation, of joy and passion. And one is mostly the orange, the navel chakra. The other, amber, is also the stellar gateway, that golden orange, that color. It's also that chakra, the stellar gateway. And it's time in 2022 for you to tap into those energies. Time for you to act and express yourself creatively and authentically. And that keeps coming up throughout your reading. Right, your next 2 cards, we have altar dedication and we have earth grounding. And the altar is saying that maybe you have been dabbling with a number of things, with too many things in that sense, and that now it is really time, now meaning in the next year, right, in the new year, it is time for you to commit yourself to one thing for 2022 at least, and go for that, to put your creativity, your passion and your love for that one thing into it, and start to move and get into motion. And this card, the altar, also says that it is time to do this now, to move forward and to start doing that, to start manifesting or creating it, right? Even if it's just the very beginning. And since the altar is also a kind of sacred space, it means that this subject or project, whatever it is for you, means an awful lot to you. So it's something that really makes your heart, pump and jump for joy and gets you going. And yeah. And you also have what it needs to be successful at it, whatever it is, and because on an altar, all elements are represented with the items that are put on it. So meaning you have everything, right? And the grounding is really very important, very interesting. That so much came through from this card for me. And we have that come up with another card as well, here, with Gaia, Earth connection. And then it also come back to Earth, stay grounded. So that comes up twice, so it's really important. At the same time that you go for this creative thing, start tuning into your passion, your drive and all that stuff, and the joy, you have to make sure that you remain grounded, especially because it comes up twice, right? So it's very important. Do not let your imagination, ego or fears run away with you and distract you from what you were doing or want to do. And so that comes down to staying grounded and at the same time dedicated to this one thing that you want to create and express. So there has to be a really good balance there. And with the that grounded card here, Earth, the field is plowed, right? You can clearly see that, and it's ready for seeds to be sown for more new and fresh crop. and look at how vast that field is. It goes all the way to the back. It's enormous. So you have a big playing field. And whatever it is you are longing to create, it will offer a lot of space for growth. That can be personal growth, but also within the project. What I'm trying to say is that it is much bigger than you can actually foresee. It could be that whatever it is that you want to do, that has your heart and passion, you think it's only the field for that, to sow that and to cultivate it is only this big. But then as you start working this part of the field, you will begin to discover at some point that there is much more to it. Much, much more. Right? And so if you are using the creative energy of the orange and other ideas come up that are related to the project, then sow them. I feel that these are the sparks. Other things, then just sow them and let them just grow and simmer and underground and over time see what comes up. And at first it should be things that are related to this one thing in your heart that you most want to create. Because, well, this card just said that you have to do this one thing and not scatter your energies. And and the field, it's so funny how that came up. To me it was almost like brainstorming, like a sheet of paper. When you brainstorm, like you can write down all the things that come up. You're not really thinking about it too much, or that's brainstorming, right? You just write down everything, every idea, everything that comes up. And in that sense, you can see that field, that vast field, as that piece of paper. Only here you don't write, you just spread seeds, you sow seeds. And I feel that this is your subconscious that then also steps in here with the crows that you see. Because when you, at some point, if you've done brainstorming, you will have to start going over that list and cross things off, right? And then here I feel your subconscious kind of will do that. The crows, they will eat the seeds that are not going to be any good, will not serve you, will distract you or whatever, So that will go by itself. You do not have to worry about, oh my God, I'm doing too much and sowing too much. It will sort itself out. And so it can be kind of like maybe you just simply lose interest in them, right? And then they will not come to fruition at all anymore. Or maybe you just forget about it. And so feel free to brainstorm and sow as much as you like. But try to stick to this one thing. And then we go to your next card. Right, we have Lord Shiva and Gaia. And Shiva, his powerful masculine energy will help you move beyond any fear or doubt or ego or fear of failure, the kind of things that tend to bother us, and move into courage. It's a strong life force energy, and that's much like the orange card we had of the navel chakra. That's also life force, the energy that is there in the navel chakra. And Shiva also speaks of this being a very powerful time, and that you will transcend the limitations that other people have maybe set for you. You really give you courage, but it's a time of innovation and ideas, right? So it's really, yeah, that ties in so much with the navel chakra. And he's also the Lord of Dance. And I'm saying that because later on with another card that comes up. So that's also good to know. So it's very powerful energy. And we need masculine energy a lot as well to to act in life. Well, the Gaia card I'm not going to address anymore because we already discussed the grounding, right? And that's really very important for you to keep your balance. That you're not lose control or lose your track or whatever because you are so enthusiastic. You have to stay grounded. We went over that. So I'm moving now into the next cards. Nine of Wands, we have your tarot cards 3, and the first is Nine of Wands, and then the High Priestess, and then the Nine of Pentacles. I was about to say tentacles. Pentacles. Nine of Wands. Bear in mind that even when you are very dedicated and also when you are successful, there is still an ebb and a flow to everything, right? There's always an ebb and flow. And that means that there can also be times when there are obstacles on your path. Do not let that deter you or stop you. Know and remember that comes with the territory, that is actually quite normal to happen. And you just have to deal with it, right? And so if there is an obstacle and it throws you out of whack, it might be really important for you to take time to go inwards so you can deal with it appropriately. And it can be that there is a situation or maybe people that are draining you, and or it may be that you need to take a bit of a break. Maybe you've been doing too much in your enthusiasm. That's why you have to stay grounded as well. And so maybe you need to slow down a little bit, recharge the battery, get aligned, because I always feel that this is kind of like the alignment with these 3 sparks, or 3, well, there's more here, 5 sparks coming back into center, getting centered and aligned. And so whatever it is, if there is an obstacle, know that it is normal, right? It comes with the territory. And so just deal with it, but don't let it undermine your inner strength and your inspiration and drive. Not like when you're just getting back into it, into your passion and inspiration and so on and so forth, and then like letting it all go. Don't let it undermine that at all. And the High Priestess, I feel so much power from that woman. Unbelievable. So when obstacles arise, whether you feel drained or other, the High Priestess is how you can get through it. So listen to your intuition. Notice what insights come up and messages that resonate with your heart. Your own guidance, your own inner guidance is always best. And you have the wisdom to guide you through any difficulty as long as you stay tuned in to your inner guidance. If you start to wobble and, go all over the place, then it becomes difficult. But that's why this is actually quite good to retreat, withdraw, go inwards and find your center again. Because then you open up again to the energy of the High Priestess, where you can get insight, messages, and your intuition will start to work again, etc. And with the Nine of Pentacles here, you see that woman dancing. That's why I thought of mentioning that with Lord Shiva, right? He's the Lord of Dance. Dancing is expressing yourself, daring to be yourself, to freely move and dance, right? And provided that the dance is following the rhythm and not premeditated steps. if you just move and go with the flow and follow the rhythm and let your body just move, that's so liberating, and that's truly expressing yourself. Dancing is also joy and feeling confident and free, in sync. It might actually also help you to get through a period of, if there's obstacles on the path, right? It might help you if you dance and move freely and to get back into that high priestess energy again, because this is also the navel dancing and the joy and moving freely and expressing yourself authentically without shame or whatever, just enjoying it like she's doing. That's also the navel, the orange card that we had at the start. It's feeling good about life and yourself and having all you need, this Nine of Pentacles. And you can also see here that you have the choice to step through that doorway into a more abundant landscape or not, right? She's not afraid to do that, nor is the arid place where she is at the moment bothering her. She's just enjoying what she's doing. And in that sense, she's not affected by external circumstances, right? Because the arid stuff, doesn't bother her in the slightest. She's not affected by that. And that is also important for you in 2022, as we also see that come up in your next card, which is Aradia. Defense is what it says at the bottom. And I think that is already your last card. Oh my God. Aradia says that do not let yourself be influenced by other people and their opinions, or maybe their not understanding of you and what you want and what you do and what you're going for. Just simply embrace who you are and be proud of who you are and stand strong in your conviction or what you're wishing to do and create. Don't deviate from that. There is no, I love that so much. This is what she also says, that there is no need to seek the approval of other people. The only approval you need is that of yourself. So approve of yourself. Maybe that's what you've been missing, lacking, right? And do that. Validate yourself, love yourself, praise yourself, approve of yourself over and over and over. That will only strengthen your navel chakra and what you want to do and manifest. So for you, 2022 is all about tapping into your inspiration, your passion and joy in life, and to begin working on whatever it is you want to do. And for some, this may be the year that you already start to manifest that. For others, it may be mostly about tuning in again with that life force energy. And you will know, I think, which is for you mostly. Because if you've been lacking that life force, that passion, that joy, that happiness, that warm feeling of that orange, right? And expressing yourself authentically, then it might be quite the thing to tune into that again, to feel that again, and to be okay with that, and to stay strong in that feeling. And then your manifestation will come after that. That's fine. You have to have a foundation, right? So it can be different in that sense So this is what I have for you. And I do hope it resonates. I do hope it makes you happy, because it's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful reading. I love it. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. And of course, already wishing you a blessed new year. Bye. Number 3. Your first 2 cards for your reading for 2022. We have color. I was actually going to say these are the color therapy cards, but anyhow, coral and indigo. And they say, the first one says that to allow abundance and synchronicity into your life and beginning to realize that you can have all that is going to be important. So shifting out of thinking that you cannot have it, you cannot do it, it's not possible for you, and shifting to believing, really believing, feeling and thinking that you can. With that, it's also important to start noticing the things that are happening, the good things, and focus away from taking stock of everything that's not working out. This shift is being and thinking not only sorry, the shift in thinking and being will not only make you feel better and more joyful, but it will also then, with the law of attraction, right, help to draw in more of what is good for you and what does serve you. So it's basically a shift out of shifting your focus from seeing only the stuff that is happening, like, oh, this is that doesn't work out either, I can't do that either, that's not working out, into seeing what does work, what is good, what you do have to be grateful for. And especially important if you have a habit of this negative stuff, negative thinking, is to notice the small things that are great. Don't just look for the big things. They might not be there yet. They might yet have to happen, right? Look for the small things and be grateful and see them. It's like the saying, like, enjoy the little things in life, as one day you will look back and you will realize that these were the big things in life. I'm so sorry. I'm coming back to this card later on, the indigo, when it makes more sense in the context. So I'm now moving to other cards. Right, your next three cards, we have the Lady or Goddess, the Lord or God, and hand fasting union. So feminine, masculine union. Wow. Well, of course, this could mean a union and also, in that sense, indicate meeting the love of your life. But most certainly for this reading, it means the inner marriage, the inner divine masculine and feminine uniting, meaning you have inner balance, and also being able to give, which is actually masculine energy, and receive, which is feminine energy, to know when you need to wait and flow and when to be decisive and take action. And this is a big, deep process. It can be that you tend to be too inactive and passive and allowing things to happen to you. And that's not very balanced energy then, is it? And it can also be that you are too busy, maybe even too bossy, not able to sit back and let things unfold more naturally, and having difficulty receiving, taking compliments, and so on. And also, if the masculine energy is not well developed, maybe you have a fear of authority and standing in your power, standing your ground, shining your light, doing that. When both the masculine and the feminine are in balance, you will find it much easier to deal with that. You can then also stand your ground and speak your mind and be visible and be seen, but then it comes from a gentler place without any aggression or anger or defensiveness. And when you're not balanced, that's how it tends to come out. Because if you can't stand your ground really well, right, and not speak your mind very easily, you tend to likely just put it away, you know. And then, but on the inside, it simmers and it's getting worse and angrier and angrier. And at some point, there's something else happening that triggers you, and then all floods out in one go. And then you can have this. When all the floodgates open, it's oftentimes not very pleasant because it's not controlled. It's, because you've been bottling it up for too long, right? And you don't have that so much anymore if these two energies that everyone has on the inside, whether masculine, whether man or woman, are balanced, in balance, and then you can get the inner marriage as well, right? The union of the inner masculine and feminine. And so if you've gotten there, you can just claim your space and your place in life, and your power, be powerful, but in a very gentle way, which can still be extremely strong. Often has far more impact than when you start letting it all out because you bottled it up, right? And now let's look at your weak spot. I'm always sorry to move these cards out of the way. They're so beautiful. What can be a weak spot for next year, right? I'm not saying for always and ever, but for next year, because that's what we are looking at. We have the Morrigan sovereignty. And it's basically the difficulty you might face next year is holding on to your sovereignty. And it's also about being able to pick your battles, and so not fighting and resisting, etc., when that is not the right thing to do. And knowing when to do that, which is again the balanced inner masculine and feminine that is required in order to do that. The Morrigan was mostly depicted as a war goddess, a Celtic war goddess, but she's also Morgan, that you come across in the Avalonian story with King Arthur. And she was a great healer and a triple goddess with lots of love and wisdom. I believe in the Irish lore, the fairy lore, she is the mother, the biggest, the top goddess, the mother goddess. So she has a lot of wisdom, and you have to use that wisdom and your gentler side, even when you do have to engage in a proverbial fight. I mean, look at how she's dressed, right? And how she's approaching. If you approach someone or a situation like that, well, you're gonna have reaction. It's not gonna help at all. And this card can also mean that you have had to endure a lot, and that this has created a really strong wall around you. And if that's the case, if that rings true for you, then it's very likely that you have become, because of all that, and because of that wall, that you have become very reactive, too reactive, and that you jump into battle, let's just call it battle, at the least sense of necessity, too easy. And that is not healthy for you, because it means basically that you're constantly in fight, flight, freeze, and that you're having too much stress hormones coursing through your body, and that can wreak serious havoc on the body if that lasts for a longer time. And that's why the other cards of the Lord, the Lady, and Union are so vitally important for you in 2022, to be able to maintain a healthy inner balance, to come to terms with any automated knee-jerk reactions and from your subconscious. These are from the subconscious, right? And to step into a healthier approach of maybe counting to 10 or temporarily withdrawing yourself so you can catch your breath and become calm again. And if you're calm, or again, you can also then tap into the wisdom and the insight that you do have. So that's really very important. And now we're getting to the indigo. The indigo card, because with indigo I feel, although that's not really the interpretation in this card deck, but still I follow my intuition. With indigo I feel the same thing, like the indigo people, yeah, I hope you've heard of those. You have indigo people, crystal children, rainbow people, and so on and so forth. And the indigos were the rebels, and they had a very clear mission on in life. And this means that you also have a higher purpose in life. You also came here with a mission. And in order to achieve and manifest that, you have to reach a balanced inner state. Again, the union between the inner masculine and feminine energies. As indigos are also the rebels, they had the task to ruin the fixed systems and the set societal rules and ways of living and behaving. That was quite a task. And so that a new, softer, gentler stuff could come in. But you can see a similar thing in the Morrigan card, your weak spot for the next year. So remember that even if it is your purpose in life to bring down these systems, doesn't have to be your purpose. I'm not saying every one of you that chose this is an indigo, but just let's say for the ones of you that do have that purpose, then it's still best done with wisdom and knowledge and love and a gentler energy. Right? As we have seen the war goddess, the reactive, angry aspect, it doesn't serve you, and it can even cause health issues. So that's for you. Maybe the way for other people to do that, but it's not for you. It's not the way to go about things. It's like you can, if you want a door closed, you can friendly ask someone like, "Oh, could you please close that door?" Or you can shout and snap and, order someone to close a door. The difference is big. And what you get back from the other person is also very different. Right? It's more likely that in the first case, they will actually close the door because you asked nicely. And in the second example, the snapping and ordering, it could be that you intimidate them, scare them, or they think to themselves like, well, sod you, I'm not going to do that. So the approach of love, wisdom, balanced on the inside, etc., is very, very important for you if you want to do things, but also for your own well-being. Especially, right, in 2022, because that's what the reading is about. Right next to cards we have Charity and Kalima, and Charity is the twin flame of the Archangel Chamuel of the heart, right? Both of the heart chakra. Charity and Kalima, Kalima says that you have to face your fears. Fear is only an energy, and energy can be changed. And again, any deep fears can have created certain patterns in you that do not serve you any longer. As soon as you dare face it and leave it behind, you have the space, and you actually create the space for love and miracles to come in. And you can then have what is here written here, major spiritual changes on unfolding, and this is your chance to soar. So if you deal with any fears and any, basically what also came up in the Morrigan, that, if you have this reactive thing going on, well, there's a reason that you became that way, that you created that, right? That wall and these things that make you so reactive. So face it, deal with it, and then better things, beautiful things can come in, and you can also start to soar. And Charity, just relax and enjoy. It's a very, very high energy of love. And she also says that you will receive a very strong surge of intuition when it is time for you to move forward, to start doing things. and to become more active, which I feel connects with the lady message that we had earlier on, the lady goddess, the feminine energy message, because that's about knowing when to act, knowing when to wait, knowing when to go with the flow. And apart from that, trusting in spirit that you're looked after and guided. You're not alone, not even if it feels or has felt like that at times. To receive this guidance and sense of being held. And that is important to tune into your intuition. Having a spiritual practice, for instance, meditating regularly or going into nature regularly, connecting with nature, could be very helpful for that. I think I said that wrong just now. I'm actually now I've confused myself. It's to receive the guidance from spirit, the higher guidance, and to feel that, and then also the sense of being held, which is what this card is all about. To get that, to receive that, it is important to tune into your intuition. And in order to tune into your intuition, I'm sorry about this, it's dinner time. Blood sugar dip, oh my god. It is helpful to meditate regularly, have a spiritual routine, or regularly go into nature, or whatever it is that you do, right? That works for you. And now we're going to look at your next card. I so love the colors of this. Absolutely beautiful colors. Heart chakra. Rate your tarot cards, the last cards of your reading. The Four of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Cups. 4-4. That's interesting. With the Four of Wands, we have again harmony, balance, joy, happiness. This can also indicate a love relationship, as it sometimes comes up as marriage or a committed relationship. So again, very similar to the Lady Lord and the Union card, which could also indicate a love relationship, a healthy, balanced love relationship. So it is possible that in 2022, if you're looking for that, you might find someone. It doesn't have to be about that, okay? But it is possible. So that balance, it comes up. Just the balance, let's just for now, just not talk about the marriage thing and the relationships thing. Balance is really very important. Inner balance and harmony in the new year. Knight of Wands is a very fast moving energy, and you want to move forward and you want it now. But this is an energy that should be used when you feel and know that it's the time to move and take action. If you use it when it's time to wait, it will get you off kilter. If you then still move ahead, right? See those two images next to him, these ghost images almost, of himself. That means that if you move ahead when it's not really the right time, then you will lose your alignment. That's how I'm reading it for this time. And that's basically why you need that balanced inner masculine and feminine, because the masculine is about when you should take action and decisions and move forward, but the feminine is about knowing when to do that. And if you go against that, if you don't know, if you don't feel it, not tuned in, and you move ahead anyway, then you lose yourself, basically. Then you get out of whack, which you can see here. Those are then aspects of you that aren't in the journey. When you move when the time isn't right, and when it is right, this energy of the night, that fast moving, decisive energy of the night, can help you move ahead really good and really fast. So it's this balance, again, this inner balance is so important for you, especially in the new year. This card also says that it's very possible that other people do not really understand you. Or don't understand what you want, what you're doing, and all that stuff. And if you allow that in, you will also get off kilter. You will also start to wobble with these two images next to that, right? So keep the alignment, the union, and your sovereignty that came up with the Morrigan. Stick to that, and then you'll be fine. Like the Morrigan, do not fight and argue with people when they do not understand you and try to sway you, maybe even, right? You can gently explain and maybe not even bother with that. Sometimes we do not have to explain. Sometimes it's enough to simply maybe smile, or maybe you can just walk away. It depends, of course, on what's required in the situation. A point is to not get engaged in fights and conflict when it has no added value and will only do you harm, get you off kilter, cause stress, and all that stuff. And with the Pentacles 4, other than the default meaning of that card, I feel it is, I'm not addressing that at all for this reading. I feel that it's saying here in this reading that if need be, you best withdraw and find your alignment again. I feel these white roses are that alignment coming back in, getting in the heart again, in the softer energy, coming in, these spheres here as well. Alignment, right? This can be when you do get overwhelmed by a situation or judgment or stress and feel that you are about to enter a battle that doesn't serve you, that's not going to serve you. Then it might be best just to hang about, notice it, become aware of it when you feel that knee-jerk reaction come up again, and withdraw and find your inner center, your alignment again. And it's also that is also charity, the charity card that we had, this one. It's connect with your higher self, with spirit, and meditate, rest, pause, find your center again. And all in all, 2022 seems to be the year where you get all your ducks in a row so you can get going, right? And although we're never done, right? There's always stuff to learn and more things to do. We're never done. But I feel for many of you who chose this is the last part of a huge cycle that you've been going through this life, and quite likely even past lives. All to do with this inner balance, especially not just inner balance and feeling okay-ish. No, this goes deeper. This is the balance on the inside between the inner masculine and the inner feminine. And trust me, I've been working on that myself as well. That's huge. That's huge. And it's also what society is going through at the moment. Right? Because I don't know how much you follow the ascension stuff, but the divine feminine energy is coming in again to balance the masculine energy that has ruled for thousands of years, and that was not empowered masculine energy. It was very imbalanced. And that has to now all be sorted. So all this stuff is also going on in society and mankind all over the planet. It's huge. It's a vast process. And anyhow, I'm not going to go into that any further. I hope it's clear. I do hope it resonates. And it's still a wee bit early, but I'm wishing you a happy new year anyway. And I will see you soon. Bye.